Welcome to our podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Mei Jian. My guest today is someone I respect and admire. She is always very welcoming and took great care of me whenever I'm around her. Please put your hands together to welcome Auntie Lin.
Hello everyone, thanks for having me.
Hey Auntie Lin, I've known you for a couple of years now, but have not gotten the chance to know when and how you took faith. Can you share with all of us today?
Sure, actually, I was introduced to Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism and chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo in the 70s. I shared with my parents and then arrogantly told my mother they can practice first. I was too busy with work and young kids. Religion, wait till my retirement. I deeply regret not taking the opportunity to change my life. I started practicing only at the turn of the century, 2011 at Kai Myo Inn.
Hey Auntie Lin, when I first heard the sentence, wait till my retirement, the first thought that crossed my mind was, wow, you sure regret one, never practiced earlier. Actually, I thought you started practicing way before Kai Myo Inn was established.
Well, I am senior in age, but definitely not in practice.
Hey, so Auntie Lin, important question. You shared that you were young and arrogant. Then, so what made the arrogant you finally took faith?
So there is a saying, pride goes before a fall. Before I took faith, I was too busy living life, I guess. Working full-time, struggling in my marriage with 2 young kids, their CCA activities, endless domestic helper problems, big headache, and I thought I had all figured it out. But looking back, I realized I was just going through the motions. I was actually having a very tough time in my life. My marriage was on the rocks, and I was feeling really lost. Turned to counseling and tried many other ways which didn't work. I was deeply suffering and made a life-changing decision to move out and stay on my own when my children were young working adults.
Wow, that's a very big decision. Were your children supportive of it?
I'm really grateful that they did not object as long as I can live happily. Thankfully, my Shakubuku parents, Herman and Noreen, were still patiently there for me. I returned back to chanting. The first thing they had encouraged me was to enshrine my own Gohonzon in my new home. I realized that I had also played a part in my failed marriage and really wanted to practice sincerely to change my karma. I'm also very grateful that I was able to spend about 10 years practicing with my late mum, repaying gratitude to her by going for home visits, yearly dozans, as well as attending to her medical appointments before she passed on peacefully in November 2016, exactly 9 years ago.
Wow, Auntie Lin, that was indeed very courageous. Your very courageous changing life experience. Actually, whenever I see you, your face is always lighted with smiles. You must have really enjoyed your practice. Actually, I still remember that there was one year during our Sembawang district meeting with Zone Chief Pauline, you broke the news of your cancer, your breast cancer. At that moment, although I was worried, but I had this conviction that you will definitely recover because when you shared the news, you were still smiling.
I think I always have my smile on despite difficulties. It was in 2023-24, I underwent 10 months of treatment for breast cancer, resulting in makeover not only physically but spiritually as well. Thankfully, I had already enshrined Gohonzon and was able to maintain consistent practice at home. I'm also very thankful during my cancer treatment that my 2 children were around to support me with their care and concern and engage a full-time domestic helper to stay with me. Through this, on reflection, I realize I am very arrogant and my words are very sharp, like a knife hurting others without realizing it.
But I cannot feel your arrogance, leh. Although I can understand what you're trying to say. Just like me, I'm very straightforward. So sometimes when we talk, we just blurt out what we want to say without consideration for others' feelings. That takes a lot of courage to admit our mistakes. Can you tell us more about your experience with cancer treatment? It must have been very challenging.
Yeah, it was really, really tough, but it was also a blessing in disguise. I realized that my practice was what helped me through. The prayers and support from priests, family, and believers were amazing. I felt like I was surrounded by positive energy. I could feel the presence of Shoten, Zenjin, and Gohonzon protection, and I had minimal pain and side effects, even when I had COVID just after my last chemo treatment. I remembered Chief Priest's guidance, which reminded me again on the power of words and how negative words hurt not only others, but our own health. Two, I realized that although I'm practicing, I have been accumulating negative karma, still arrogant, quick to judge others, and hold grudges.
I also don't believe you hold grudges, leh. But it's okay, I believe you. Today I learned something new. Negative words hurt not only others but our own health. So I must be mindful of my attitude. And also, if I didn't remember wrongly, during your cancer treatment, although you are still in pain, but you managed to achieve your Shakubuku Pledge.
It was really Gohonzon's arrangement that I found some mold in my master bedroom and decided to purify my master bedroom besides purifying myself. So I engaged a contractor to come by to do it. It was half a day's work, and but I cautioned them when they were carrying their equipment not to be careful of the Bhutan because there's a Buddha enshrine here. After the contractor finished his work, he was curious about the Buddha that was enshrined in the Bhutan. So I shared with him Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, opened up the Bhutan and chanted with him. He could feel Gohonzon's protection when he saw that I was a cancer patient, but still coping very well, and agreed to come to our temple to have a look. So on his next day off, he agreed to come. He came to temple and had a connection with our Joju Gohonzon. And when I asked him whether he would like to have a Gojukai and open up his Buddha nature and change his life, he readily agreed. With the support of Herman and Noreen, we were able to encourage him to receive Gojukai. But I continue nurturing him on his other days when he was not off to continue chanting at home.
Hey, Auntie Lin, so how are you coping recently? Every time I come to the temple, about 8 out of 10 times, I will see you in the temple also. You look like you're in the pink of health. Since you finished your cancer treatment, I guess you feel okay now?
Oh no, I actually am having cancer medication to prevent the cancer from coming back. And it is a very serious side effect on me. I can have a very severe diarrhea, which leaves me very weak and not in the mood to do anything. So I do have my off days where I rest at home, but I'm very thankful that I can still make the effort to attend important ceremonies like Kosen Rufu, Oko, and our meetings, Shakubuku core meeting or, Hokiko meetings. But can you imagine I had 2 falls within a week last December?
Oh, what happened to you?
Well, the first 2 falls in December, I fell off the chair and I fell off a toilet bowl. And I'm very thankful that I did not suffer any fractures or internal bleeding in my head. So I can feel that this is Gohonzon's protection and compassion, always sending me reminders through my environment to make more effort in improving my stubborn character. This make me recall that I was exactly like that during the early days of my marriage. My husband and I are both very stubborn, always feel that we are right and the other party is wrong. So it is definitely not easy to change overnight, but I must not use that as an excuse. With Chipri's constant guidance to use positive words of encouragement, appreciation, and gratitude in our life, I am continually polishing my life day by day, embracing the good in everyone I meet. Nobody is perfect, Meijin. I'm not perfect myself, and I cannot expect perfection in others.
That's very true.
So I'm very truly grateful to be able to practice this supreme law of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo and repay my debts of gratitude to Gohonzon for always protecting me.
I always feel one of the greatest benefit is to realize what kind of person we are and to be able to reflect and change ourselves. Do you have any encouragement to share with our believers?
It is not easy, but it's still work in progress, and I am getting there slowly. But don't be like me, procrastinating on getting things done. I am now even more determined to share this practice joyfully with others so that they too can overcome challenges in life. Visit Kaimyo-in often, chant together with the priesthood, start practicing, and don't hesitate and wait for over 30 years like me. Take action now to change ourselves, accumulating good fortune and good health, not only for ourselves, but for others as well. Let's treasure what we have now with gratitude and appreciation, but seek to further improve ourselves day by day and not be complacent. As in my childhood rhyme I recently recalled, good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better best.
Wow, totally agree. I think your childhood rhyme, you're referring to our practice, right, Auntie Lin? So it's really great having you on this episode. Your experience is truly inspiring. To end this podcast, shall we recite your childhood rhyme again together? 1, 2, 3. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better best.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure sharing my journey of practice.
Thank you, Auntie Lin. I have learned from Auntie Lin about her sincere faith without doubt, as Chief Priest has guided us to chant with conviction, not only in moments of joy, but especially in times of difficulties. Through chanting, we will discover a deeper joy, a quiet confidence, and an unshakable strength within our own lives. From that joy, the natural wish to share Buddhism with others will arise. And through that, both you and those around you will experience the living Buddhism of mutual happiness and growth. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Bye bye.